Hi, Taehyung lovers. Welcome back to the Taehyung Lovers channel for ARMY all around the world. Don't skip, because BTS is moving quickly from Boston to Baltimore. And this time there is one surprising detail behind the ARIRANG journey that you absolutely need to know. What happened after BTS shook Foxborough? Is the plane circulating online really connected to their journey? Why has Baltimore immediately become the center of ARMY's attention? And just how explosive will the next stage be when 150,000 are already waiting? We're going to discuss BTS journey from Boston to Baltimore, the M&T Bank Stadium schedule, the ARIRANG fever, ARMY's excitement, resale ticket prices, as well as the facts and speculation currently making waves. So don't skip until the end, because there is an important fact that could make you see this story from a different perspective. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and help make this viral so the world can see more of Kim Taehyung and BTS' positive side. Hard work and kindness. Boston has already shaken the world. Baltimore is next. But the question is, how hard will ARIRANG explode? BTS moves fast. From Boston to Baltimore, ARIRANG fever takes over America again. Within seconds, Baltimore is no longer just a city in Maryland. Baltimore has become an ARIRANG city. One city has barely had time to truly catch its breath after BTS left, and the next city is already preparing to face a purple wave. Boston has just witnessed it, but Baltimore is now on the front line. The question is, how much more will ARIRANG shake America? August 2026 immediately erupted with Kim Taehyung and all BTS members amid an extremely packed schedule. After completing their series of activities in Boston, the world's attention is now focused on BTS's journey toward Baltimore, Maryland, USA. On the scale of BTS World Tour ARIRANG, moving from one city to another is not simply an ordinary journey, but a new chapter in a global phenomenon that continues across the United States. When Boston closes its doors, Baltimore is getting ready to open its gates. BTS has just shaken Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts, on August 5th and 6th, 2026. The performances marked BTS's debut at the venue, featuring a 360-degree stage concept that placed Jimin, SUGA, jhope, RM, Jimin, V, and Jung Kook in the middle of the audience. The massive enthusiasm in Foxborough showed that after a long wait, the return of all 7 BTS members to the same stage has only made public attention even greater. But this is exactly where the story becomes even more interesting. Boston has not even finished talking about the thunderous energy of Foxborough. Yet the world's attention has already shifted to Maryland. According to the official schedule, BTS is scheduled to perform at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore on August 10th and 11th, 2026, at 8 p.m., making Baltimore one of the official next stops on the ARIRANG World Tour, not merely a rumor. As soon as the Boston concert ended, ARMY immediately shifted their attention to Baltimore. Social media was flooded with discussions about BTS's journey, concert preparations, merchandise, tickets, and fan projects. For ARMY, BTS's arrival is not simply a concert schedule. It is an event capable of transforming the atmosphere of an entire city within just a few days. Meanwhile, attention has also turned to a photo of an aircraft circulating after Boston. The claim that the aircraft is an Airbus A220-300 operated by Breeze Airways needs to be viewed carefully. An aircraft alone is not enough to confirm that it was used by BTS. Without a flight number, flight data, or official confirmation, the identity of the aircraft and its passengers cannot yet be confirmed. The route from Boston Logan International Airport, or BOS, to Baltimore/Washington International Thurgood Marshall Airport, or BWI, is indeed relatively short, around 368 miles or 592 kilometers, with non-stop flights generally taking less than 2 hours, depending on the schedule and operational conditions. Geographically, traveling from Boston to Baltimore quickly is certainly possible, but BTS's actual mode of transportation still has to await official confirmation. On the other hand, the excitement among ARMY in Baltimore is becoming increasingly noticeable. Fans from various regions are beginning to prepare to welcome BTS. making the city's atmosphere ahead of the concert even more vibrant. For them, this is not simply a performance, but a collective experience of watching the 7 members of BTS stand on the same stage again. Boston may be over, but the ARIRANG fever has not subsided. Instead, its wave is moving even faster toward Baltimore. M&T Bank Stadium is now the center of attention, preparing to transform from a sports stadium into a sea of light as tens of thousands of ARMY fill the venue. When the lights go out, the giant screens light up, and the first sound is heard. The atmosphere feels like more than just a concert. This is a collective experience that BTS and ARMY have built together over many years. And BTS is not simply holding concerts in America. ARIRANG has become an important moment, marking the return of all 7 members as a complete group after a period of individual activities and military obligations. That is why every appearance of Kim Taehyung, Jung Kook, Jimin, Jin, RM, jhope, and SUGA has once again become a global focus. One expression, one greeting, or one small movement can quickly turn into a viral moment. But amid the flood of information, facts must still be separated from speculation. One photo can trigger theories, searches for flight numbers, route comparisons, and a flood of comments across social media. But without official evidence, a theory remains a theory. That is the power of the BTS fandom. Someone can walk into a stadium alone, but when thousands of BTS ARMY bombs light up at the same time, the feeling of being alone seems to disappear. Everyone stands under the same light, sings the same songs, and waits for the 7 BTS members to appear on stage. Then the most anticipated moment arrives. The lights go out, ARMY's voices roar, the giant screens light up, and the name BTS appears. When the 7 members appear, light fills the stadium and cameras capture every moment, including Kim Taehyung's aura, Jung Kook's energy, Jimin's greeting, as well as Jin, RM, jhope, and SUGA taking their positions. Within seconds, the atmosphere transforms into an explosion of emotion. Baltimore is no longer just a city in Maryland. Baltimore has become an ARIRANG city. On the other hand, resale ticket prices have also become a major point of attention. High demand and limited supply can push prices far above their original prices, but numbers on secondary platforms are not official BTS ticket prices and can change depending on the seat, seller, service fees, and availability. Therefore, claims that tickets have reached thousands of dollars should be understood as secondary market prices for specific listings. Figures such as $8,971 to more than $10,000 do not mean that all BTS VIP tickets are priced at those levels. This is where FOMO, or fear of missing out, comes into play. When tickets become increasingly limited and prices continue to move, a fear of losing the opportunity begins to emerge. Seeing someone else get a seat close to the stage can even trigger one question: why don't I have a ticket yet? That is one of the strongest psychological forces in the modern concert market. But there is something far greater than ticket prices: the experience and the emotion. For some ARMY, the journey to Baltimore has been prepared for months. A ticket is not simply access to a venue, but a symbol of waiting. Some have saved money, taken time off, traveled across countries, come with their families, and some may finally be able to see BTS in person after years of watching them only through a screen. That is why, when BTS appears on stage, its emotional value cannot be measured in dollars. Kim Taehyung once again becomes one of the main centers of attention with his stage aura, powerful expressions, and small gestures that can easily turn into viral moments. In circulating visuals, Taehyung is wearing a white shirt with the words BTS World Tour ARIRANG written on it while smiling at fans. Simple, yet it is precisely that smile that makes the superstar feel so close to millions of ARMY. And then comes the question that is sparking debate. Does BTS still have the same power after years without a full world tour as a group? The answer is beginning to emerge from their series of concerts. Before Baltimore, BTS had already passed through MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford and Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, which hosted 2 shows on August 5th and 6th. The massive enthusiasm at both venues shows that the long break did not erase BTS's appeal. Instead, the return of all 7 members to the same stage has only intensified public curiosity. From Boston to Baltimore, then continuing to Arlington, Toronto, Chicago, and Los Angeles, ARIRANG is not simply one concert, but a long journey from one massive stadium to the next. Every city has its own story. Every night has the potential to create a new viral moment. And every performance once again proves why ARIRANG fever is so powerful across North America. Now the biggest question is, what will happen in Baltimore? Will Kim Taehyung create another viral moment? Will Jung Kook make the stadium explode? Jimin drain ARMY's emotions? Or RM deliver a speech that people will talk about for days? No one can be certain, and that uncertainty is exactly what makes BTS concerts so powerful. ARMY does not come only to see something they already know. They come to witness a moment that may happen only once. Boston is over, but ARIRANG is not finished. The distance from Boston to Baltimore may only be around 368 miles, but emotionally, this journey is far greater. The 7 members of BTS continue moving toward the next stage, while ARMY counts down the time until the stadium doors open. When August 10th arrives, theories about the journey and the aircraft will stop, because the real answer will be heard from the voice of the stadium. Thank you for watching until the very end. Taehyung lovers, Boston has passed, but Baltimore is now waiting for the next explosion. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell if you enjoy this content. If you don't like it, feel free to skip, because Taehyung lovers never forces anyone. What do you think? How explosive will Baltimore be when BTS takes the stage again? Write your thoughts in the comments section. Keep following the latest developments about Kim Taehyung and BTS only on the Taehyung Lovers channel, and help make it viral so the world can continue to see the hard work and positive side of Kim Taehyung. Boston has shaken the world. Baltimore is next. ARIRANG is not over, and the next stage may hold a moment that will never be forgotten. Thank you, Boharia. See you again.